Alright, so here I am, mid-panic, changing my strings, peep, and tying everything back in before, well, when I started, we were a week out from season opener here, and the reason I was doing it was the serving was separating, the strings were a couple seasons old, and I knew I was going to end up working on it anyways, so, well, at some point during the season, I knew I was going to end up working on it, so figured just bite the bullet, get it over with, get everything I'll line back out now instead of missing a couple days of hunting. So here I am checking the timing, which timing was a little bit out. Had to add a couple twists. Now here I am just tying everything in final, getting it all burned off, melted down. And I checked timing one more time. And that's that. Now I just go in, make a half dozen arrows that I'm going to use with broadheads in my quiver for hunting. Cutting them, prepping them, gluing the inserts, which I use just regular blue tap Gorilla Glue. Sets up fast, holds strong. I've never had a problem with it, and there's no special label on it that you got to spend more money to get special insert and vein glue. It's regular old blue tap Gorilla Glue. So here we have the end result of the paper tune. Took me seven shots. I only had to move the rest down a little bit, and that was it. There was no left to rights needed. And here's the end result of the draw weight, 76.1 pounds, which came in super high. There's too many twists in the strings, and it was probably somewhere in the 90s. I couldn't even draw it back. And I know you're supposed to never take twists out, but I had to. So that was that. I took a few twists out of the string and a few twists out of the cables, and I backed out the tiller bolts one turn just to get it down to 76.1, which was closer to what it should be. It's a 70 to 80 pound bow, so it was impossible that it was anywhere close to 75, 76 pounds like it should be, that I can draw pretty comfortably. So that was why I did what I did, and it's my shit. And if it blows up, it blows up. That's the end of it. All right, so we're back in the game here, finally, even though it only took a night. Well, 2 nights. And got her tuned back in. Got the knocks all situated. I had to go to a little bit smaller knock because things got tight on the other one. Um, had to move the rest a little bit. And other than that, everything else was really close. So now I'm going to shoot a little paper, make sure everything's consistent, and then tomorrow I'll go outside and sight it back in at distance, get a little bit better of a read on it, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna shoot a little paper down there, and this is 15 yards, and that'll be it for this. One thing I noticed after the string change was it's definitely quieter for some reason. Maybe that's normal and I just didn't notice. That's working nice. I haven't shot in here in a while. And one of the things I absolutely suck at actually is this right here. It's just rough for some reason looking at a spot. Maybe it's target panic. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I got that problem pretty well lined out, but I've just always had, not so much on a 5-spot face, but definitely on a Vegas face. I've never ever shot a 300 on one. I've shot a 299, but I've shot quite a few 560 arrow round, or sorry, 360 arrow rounds on 5-spot. Other thing I did too is I went up in peep size. Just do a little better job gathering light in those low light hunting conditions. Yeah, we'll see. So we got 4 X's and one that's about a ½ inch out of the X. Which, that one could have been many things. The main thing I'm just checking for here is consistency. Make sure there's no issues. I'm gonna spin that knock. And I'm gonna reshoot that one. Because after all, who do I have to disappoint? I think that was it. Yeah, that was a good X. That was like the best one out of all of them. All right. So with that, I'm just going to time lapse the rest of this round and that'll be it. This isn't really a force for score thing. More so just checking it out and making sure everything's working. Settle this string in a little bit if it has any to settle, which it shouldn't. I've never used 60X strings before, but they got a good reputation. They've been around a long time. And quite honestly, they just wouldn't make it this long if it was junk. So I'm not really worried about them at all. And then I'll go finish the arrows that I started yesterday. I don't know if I'm going to shoot 60 right now, but yeah, I'm definitely not going to. I'll probably shoot this round and one more. This end, I should say. What happened? That's maybe left side X. Ooh, that was a good one. Well, they're all good, but it's about as good as it gets. Of course, right after I said that, I'll probably go and put one in the blue next. Shit, wrong knock. Got a bunch of arrows hanging around from many different batches, and sometimes grab the wrong one. That was it. The other thing I changed too is I changed from the biter hunter knocks that I had, which I really like the concept of them all being from the same mold, so there's no inconsistencies or variances between knocks. But if it doesn't give you the right fit, then it's not the right one. So I switched back to a boning A knock, which is a little bit narrower and it fits a little bit tighter for smaller servings. The biter knock was just too loose for this serving. I wasn't really getting that good positive click. So I am with these, so that's going to be what I'm running. See what happened. Some line breakers on that one. So I have shot one non-X so far. There's a couple that are in the white, or there's one more that's in the white that I shot when I was sighting it back in. But so far so good. This will be the last end. Good to get a bunch of arrows off though with something that is on the heavier side. This thing came in at 76 pounds. And if I was going to go shoot this thing 60 times right now, I don't know. Wouldn't be ideal. That was nice. Plus, this kind of thing right now doesn't really do you any good as far as getting deer on the ground anyway. But it does allow you to rep it out a little bit and check on things. Yeah. Definitely one of those checks too. Like if you do this at the end of the season, come whatever gun season or the end of the year, whenever you're done bow hunting, and just do a little check-in and find out that or how bad your form got, or how bad you got at shooting and all the time that you're out hunting instead of practicing, which definitely happens. Much like walking out to 60, 70, 80, 90 yards and shooting from there, all your flaws get magnified. Something. Might have caught a line on that one. Could be a little bit high. That's the end of that. So we'll go see. I think there could be one non-X up there. We'll have a look. Oh, well, breaking the line. that'll work. I'm happy with that. And that'll be it. I bought a broadhead tuner, a chance archery, or last chance. I don't even know if they're called archery, last chance archery. I think they are. Same brand as the bow press, same everything. I bought a broadhead tuner, so I'm gonna go after when that comes in. I'm just gonna check up on all my arrows for straightness, and maybe I'll do a little video on that and see what comes out of it. But that's the end of this bow revamp, last minute, ADHD, whatever you want to call it, panic mode. Bow restring, retune, and should be good to go for next week, and that'll be it. Season starts less than a week, so I'll have a bunch of arrows through this thing. I'll have taken a bunch of shots with broadheads, and we'll be good to go. I definitely don't recommend doing this for anybody who isn't going to shoot that much, or doesn't have a home shop that they can work on it and get it all lined out in time. I should have done it earlier as well, but I saw my serving was separating a little bit, and I've done it before. I've retied servings, and it's not my area of expertise. I can do it, but it just sucks. And those strings were couple seasons old anyway, so it was time to change them almost anyways. Plus, I wanted to go up a size in peeps, so it was just time to do it. And now I shouldn't have to worry about it all season. I should have no issues. If I had a spare bow, which I do have a spare bow, but it isn't set up for myself right now. If that was all set up and rocking and rolling, I might have thought different and left it alone. But since I don't, when the season comes around, it just sucks to lose a couple days or a night of hunting because of some equipment. So that's the end of this video. And like, comment, subscribe.